Charged me 200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3 or 4 hours. My neck started hurting. You know, you might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but you know, it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for a pendant. Right here, this is Antarctica. This is the big boy. This is Christine called it Antarctica. It's the chandelier. But I might have seen DJ Khaled with this on. It's that big boy, you know.
How many people?
2 million.
Yeah. So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino, it's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel it. I'm just talking.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. The tension between 50 Cent and Lil Meech has officially hit a boiling point. According to new reports, 50 Cent has sent a final warning to Lil Meech over a missing $10 million tied to the BMF television series and related brand partnerships. Insiders claim the funds were earmarked for production and expansion. But now, with money unaccounted for and deals falling apart, 50 wants answers. What's even more shocking is that Rick Ross's name has allegedly surfaced in connection to the missing money. Sources close to the situation say Ross may have played a role in redirecting funds through business associates linked to Lil Meech, raising serious questions about behind-the-scenes alliances.
Right, they don't even understand that you know, the way we grew up, you're supposed to spend no more than 10 or 20% of what you make. You know what I'm saying? So
50 Cent took to Instagram with a cryptic post saying, "Play with my money and see how quick I turn the lights off. Final warning." Though he didn't name names directly, the message was loud and clear. The post came just days after rumors surfaced that Lil Meech was planning to break away from the BMF show and explore new opportunities, possibly with Ross's backing. Now, 50 Cent is making it clear. If the money isn't accounted for, consequences are coming. With one of hip-hop's most iconic brands on the line and loyalties being tested, this isn't just about business. It's personal. And if Ross is involved, the fallout could rock the culture to its core.
you can have something.
He was able to do it because, you know, like financially, I was supporting the idea, and I believe he could do it. He had moved to California and was working with acting coaches, and his dad didn't know that he was acting.
As many have already seen, the relationship between 50 Cent and Big Meech completely unraveled after Meech's release from prison, especially once he was spotted aligning with Rick Ross. That moment alone sent shockwaves through the circle and fractured key alliances that had been holding strong for years. Now, with Lil Meech positioned right in the center of this fallout, the consequences are becoming impossible to ignore. Early on, Lil Meech made it clear where he stood, showing firm support for 50 Cent and signaling loyalty without hesitation. But lately, things have shifted. New actions suggest that both father and son are moving closer to Rick Ross, showing real signs of where their loyalties now lie. So what changed everything? It appears the turning point was 50 Cent directly criticizing Big Meech's parenting. He publicly called Meech out as a poor example, accusing him of enabling Lil Meech's reckless behavior, including alleged drug use and a wild lifestyle. In response, sources say the Flannery father-son duo is preparing a full-scale media push.
What's the best memory of 50 Cent?
Best memory of 50 Cent? Ever since I met 50 Cent, he's always been stand-up and probably the most truthful person I've ever met. Just being with him everywhere, seeing nice things all the time since I was born. So I always knew that he was doing something. I mean, I don't know, it could have been anything. So I had a fun childhood, crazy.
Word is, they've teamed up with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather to develop their own version of a BMF series. possibly designed to go head-to-head with 50 Cent's current project. If true, this could escalate tensions into a full media war. Despite the moves being made, both fans and insiders have raised warnings. Things may not unfold the way Big Meech and Lil Meech hope. There's growing suspicion that they could be taken advantage of or sidelined by bigger forces. Influential figures like Floyd Mayweather and Rick Ross have their own financial agendas, and their alliance with the Flenoris might not be as genuine as it seems. So the question becomes, what is Big Meech planning to do to push back? Looking at the full picture, Big Meech is now officially standing against 50 Cent's continued use of the BMF name. After 50 launched public shots suggesting Meech was a poor role model and influenced his son negatively, the Black Mafia family figurehead appeared ready to retaliate.
I'm still trying to find myself. My dad was calling me from jail every day. He was like, man, what you gonna do? Like, shit, I don't know. I always knew I wanted to be my own person. It's just hard, to live up to my dad's name. And he called me one day, he's like, man, they looking at Terrence Howard and Nipsey Hussle. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to play me, but you gotta go to acting class so you can get ready. So I met 50. 50 put me in acting classes for 2 years in LA. Invested in me, paid for the acting class. I had to go every day, two times a day, 5 days a week. In the morning, in the afternoon, come back home, study again, do the same thing the next day.
Wow, and a ball player.
Yeah, but I put in the work though, and it showed me that 50 couldn't get me the job. I had to get myself the job. My dad couldn't get me the job. They would have hired somebody else that already had acting experience. I had no experience. So I was coming from...
That public criticism set off a new chapter in their fallout. Tensions grew after 50 Cent not only ended ties with Lil Meech, but also started hinting that the BMF series might be wrapping up for good. That hit hard, considering how much the series has meant to both the legacy and Lil Meech's career. In response, Lil Meech tried to clear the air. He reportedly met with 50 in person to explain that the viral photo of Big Meech and Rick Ross, which stirred the drama, was simply a business transaction. In a direct message, Lil Meech explained, F Ross, but he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his expenses until our new season starts. Dude, I do not get this online stuff. You do in fact know me. But 50 Cent wasn't buying the excuse. In a cold response, he brushed off the explanation and asked what the upcoming season would even look like, strongly implying that Lil Meech's time on the show was done. To twist the knife further, 50 followed up by joking that Lil Meech's next stop might be a role on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, signaling that the door to BMF may have officially closed. Later in the day, 50 Cent made it clear that the jabs weren't ending anytime soon. He sarcastically announced plans to call Mona Scott, creator of Love and Hip Hop, on Lil Meech's behalf, implying he was done with acting on BMF and would now fit better in the reality TV lane. But 50 didn't stop there. He circled back to Big Meech and Rick Ross, questioning their ability to guide and protect those around them. As part of his retaliation, he resurfaced an old video allegedly showing Rick Ross's daughter, Toy Roberts, spending time with Lil Meech. The goal? To frame both Ross and Meech as lacking responsibility and proper mentorship. This wasn't about TV contracts anymore. These were strategic, painful shots, meant to dig deep and cause real damage. With Meech refusing to fold, 50 kept the pressure on Ross, turning the attention to his past inaction. He questioned why, during Big Meech's incarceration, Ross never stepped up to support the Flannery family. If Ross was really in Meech's corner, why didn't he help Lil Meech? Why wasn't he sent to acting school to develop his skills and protect the family's image? 50 posted, "None of your out and about folks could assist him. Big screech. You come home thinking you're the Black Pablo Escobar." That line wasn't just sarcasm, it was a harsh reminder of the illusion of power. And then came the biggest sting. 50 claimed that the only reason the Flannery name stayed intact while Big Meech was behind bars was because of him. He credited himself with holding the family together, keeping the story alive, and giving Lil Meech a real shot when no one else stepped in. This isn't just a beef. It's now a full-blown battle for legacy and influence. 50 Cent made his stance louder than ever. He wasn't just offering opportunities, he claimed to have created a real, life-changing path. Not just industry talk, not just hype. According to 50, Lil Meech had already burned through all the earnings from his BMF performance. He posted, "I made over $5 million real dollars for your family. It's not my fault now that it's all gone." That single quote lit up the internet. Some fans accused 50 of going too far, saying the fallout started over nothing more than a business photo with Rick Ross. Others defended 50, arguing he had every reason to feel betrayed, especially after years of investment and loyalty to the Flannery brand. The divide didn't stop with fans. Industry voices started chiming in, and one of the loudest came from Boosie. He wasn't impressed with how Lil Meech handled the entire situation. According to Boosie, the message Lil Meech sent to 50 Cent came across as too casual, too lighthearted, given how publicly 50 had criticized Big Meech. Boosie made it clear, if it were his father being publicly disrespected, the tone would have been completely different. "You don't stay friendly when someone talks about your father in public," he said. Business or not, blood always comes first in Boosie's view. But 50 Cent didn't stay quiet in the face of that take. He fired back quickly, reminding everyone just how much he's done for Lil Meech. He posted, "I did more for Meech than anyone in his life." To drive the point home, 50 reshared Boosie's interview clip, stamping it with the caption, "Boosie." This wasn't just a celebrity disagreement. It had grown into a debate about respect, loyalty, and who really built the opportunities surrounding the BMF legacy. And with each post, 50's making it clear, he's not stepping back. He's doubling down on what he believes he created. That's why 50 responded the way he did. He claimed that if Lil Meech ever ended up behind bars again, the first call he'd make would still be to 50. And to 50, that spoke volumes about who really held things down when it mattered most. In a pointed statement, 50 also alleged that Meech had whippets in his vehicle during a weapons training session, right before he started vomiting. Curious, 50 admitted he had to ask what whippets were, only to be shocked that they're the same chemical found in compressed air canisters, raising concerns about safety and judgment. The situation escalated even more when the Flannery father-son duo linked up in Miami with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, two of 50 Cent's most vocal rivals. The optics were unmistakable. These weren't random meetings, they were deliberate public alignments. The image of Rick Ross and Mayweather flanking Lil Meech was posted with the caption, "Real Power," a direct dig aimed at 50's popular series, Power. Just days later, Lil Meech dropped another cryptic image on Instagram. No caption needed. What was obvious was that the alliances had shifted, and the chessboard of influence was officially wide open. But here's where it gets complicated. Even if Ross and Mayweather want to back a new BMF film project, they face a legal roadblock. Since 50 Cent still controls key rights tied to the current series, any new production attempt would require his approval. That's the twist. No matter how bold the new partnerships appear, the real power might still lie with 50. Meanwhile, reports surfaced that Lil Meech recently dropped $10,000 on Chrome Hearts jeans, boasting online, "I might wear them shits for a month." The flex was loud, but the future of his BMF involvement remains uncertain, and 50's silence might just be the calm before another storm. It doesn't look like anything will be changing soon, no matter how intense the dispute between 50 Cent and the Flannery family becomes. According to a recent update from TMZ, 50's G-Unit film and television division is still pushing forward. In fact, they're actively working on expanding the BMF universe. One of the next major projects? A biopic centered on Tammy Cowens, the businesswoman who played a crucial behind-the-scenes role in the original BMF operation. Despite all the noise, the BMF brand is growing, not shrinking. And while the drama continues, support for 50 Cent is rising. Fans and industry insiders alike are calling out Lil Meech, accusing him of squandering what many call a once-in-a-lifetime role. Reports claim Lil Meech blew through his BMF earnings in just a few years, spending millions on designer clothes, flashy watches, and luxury living without building any long-term financial safety net. It didn't help that the lifestyle was constantly flaunted on social media. Lil Meech often posted pictures showing off expensive fits, like custom chrome hearts jeans, and even claimed he spent $2 million on a fully iced-out watch. Critics argue that the bragging caused more damage than clout, especially considering the uncertain future of his acting career. Now, the future of the BMF legacy hangs in the balance. Questions remain about where the brand goes next and whether new alliances will shift the direction of its story. Current sources estimate that Lil Meech has spent around $5 million on high-end cars, luxury clothing, and extravagant jewelry, without setting aside money for investments, savings, or future planning. According to Tony Yayo, the situation took a turn when Meech started moving with an entitled attitude. Reports even suggest that he was reaching out to other artists, including Lil Baby, asking for help covering Big Meech's expenses. The mix of entitlement and recklessness has sparked real concern, as fans now question whether Lil Meech was ready to carry such a major legacy on his shoulders. Allegedly, Lil Meech went and dropped $100,000 on a single pair of high-end pants. According to Tony Yayo, the contradictions were impossible to ignore. While Lil Meech was constantly asking for financial help, he was also flaunting luxury goods and designer pieces, creating tension both inside the BMF project and throughout the extended circle connected to it. What made things even more revealing was Lil Meech's own admission. Before linking with 50 Cent, he said he felt lost, directionless, and unsure of his future. Seeing potential in him, 50 Cent stepped in and paid out of pocket for 2 full years of professional acting training, all to prepare him for the leading role in the BMF series. It's important to note, 50 didn't have to do any of that. He took a major risk, betting on Lil Meech when no one else was ready to. And now, with all of this turning sour, some are asking whether the recent fallout is just a calculated effort to slow 50's momentum. The entertainment industry is watching closely. While the headlines are messy, the real decisions happen behind the scenes, where deals are made, contracts are signed, and profits are divided. So what's your take? Was 50 Cent wrong to claim that Big Meech was being a negative influence? And does this new alliance with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather really look like a smart power play? Or is it a reactionary move disguised as strategy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your take on this developing situation. And if you made it to the end, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. This story is far from over, and the next chapter could flip everything we thought we knew.